Hey everyone out there in YouTube land, this is Annette Dion, the host and creator of the Psychic News Network, coming back sooner rather than later because there's just so much going on. You know, every time I say that, then it just seems like it builds up and there's more. Thank you all for your kind comments. If you would like to book a personal reading, I recommend it. It's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. It's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. That is the easiest way to get a reading from me, is email me, and I have time. So I'm over 25 years in this business and very interested in looking into what's going on in the news from a psychic perspective. So let's get right to it. I have a list. We're heading into full moon in Aquarius. Get ready for some bombshells in the news. I just saw something fly behind me. I'm not sure what that was. Just as I said that. Yesterday, jaw-dropping stuff. How many crimes against this country that were committed by the last administration. And I got to tell you, it has been a highly stressful few years for all of us. And in particular, if you have a very strong psychic gift, if you practice your psychic intuition, and you were really kind of tapped into what was going on behind the scenes, very scorpionic, I have Scorpio rising, behind the scenes. What I and other psychics have been sensing, I'm sure, and maybe you too, is so much dangerous illicit activity going on in that past administration. It would boggle my mind. I would have to find something to distract me because it wasn't in the news. And with this full moon in Aquarius on Friday, it's about illuminating, it's about shaking things up. The equivalent in the tarot is a Tower card. That is what we are starting to already see. Wait until Friday. I mean, just in terms of all the information that's going to come out. To me, it's like all the pieces come together all at once. I mean, we've had dribs and drabs, but all at once. So that Barrick guy who was arrested yesterday, who worked on the inauguration committee, there was a hell of a lot of money coming into that inauguration fund. As we saw, the inauguration of He Who Shall Not Be Named had very low attendance, and then we had Sean Spicer out there going, oh, it was the biggest crowd ever, and that was the beginning of the gaslighting era, as far as I'm concerned. The money that came into that inauguration fund, I don't remember the figure, it was millions. People don't really know what happened, where it came from and where it went. We're about to find out. Now, what's most concerning, and we'll look at it, is how much treason has happened, how many of our national security secrets have been compromised. It's not a small number. It's not a small amount. So let's get our prayers and intentions happening. I don't mean to alarm you, but the damage has been done. And we as American citizens have got to commit to paying attention and to speaking out. And you know what? Hats off to all the psychics out there on YouTube. I mean, there's some really good ones, and you know, I want to just give a shout out to Milu, who's on every day at noon. I got to get in touch with him. I'm a faithful fan. To just kind of keep you posted on what's happening in the news and what our psychic impressions are moving forward about what's happening in the news. And hopefully that's going to motivate people to do a little bit more, to get involved, and also to know that we're never powerless. That this is all coming out. This is a call for America to basically throw the bums out. It really is. It's about throwing the bums out that don't have our best interest at heart. Quite the opposite of having our best interest at heart. On that note, I mentioned the other day that I was going to give you the voting rights organization that Stacey Abrams is sort of heading up. I think they call it Hot Call Summer. The number is 1-888-453-3211. 1-888-453-3211. Have your voice be heard about saving our democracy. I haven't called the number yet, so I hope you do, and I will too. I'll do it today. I promise I'll do it today. Let's get to the cards. This video might be a little longer than the others because there's just so much. And I was going to wait a few more days, but it's just too much, as I said. So I know a couple people sent questions. I didn't write them down, but I'm remembering. One was asking about the Alan Dershowitz, if I'm saying his name right. I should have written that down. The guy that defended He Who Shall Not Be Named in the impeachment trial. I believe that was the first time around. I'm losing track of all the impeachments. Whether he's going to go to prison. The guy said that he's too old, and I don't mean like he shouldn't go to prison. He will be cited, and I feel like he's going to have health issues that keep him from, he could be under house arrest or something. That's sort of a name from the past, Dershowitz. I recommend listening to Michael Cohen too. Michael Cohen, it seems like he seems psychic. I mean, he's in the know because he's so connected with the past administration. But the things that he says are really interesting to me because they've happened. Like when He Who Shall Not Be Named did not get reelected, and he didn't. I don't care if you believe that he won the election. You hate this channel. So, I love you, and just don't listen because it will just infuriate you. But anyway, he said, Michael Cohen back in, I think it was like December, said in some interview that if the former guy didn't get reelected, he would probably start a war. And he most certainly did start a war. All right, what do I have for questions? The United Arab Emirates connection. Oh my gosh, the plot just thickens. That Barrack dude that was arrested yesterday. The connections with the Saudis. I see it. And Jared Kushner is in on it. And this channel is for entertainment purposes only and based only on my opinion. This is my YouTube channel. I'm just sharing my opinion. That having been said, not based on facts, based on my psychic impressions. In those meetings with the United Arab Emirates, that journalist, Khashoggi, was discussed. And as I'm saying it, oh my gosh, it's just, I can't look too much into that, but I'm just telling you, we're going to be finding out a lot. And also, I said all along, I said all the way since I started the Psychic News Network. Actually, I started it on Facebook over almost 2 years ago. Russia. We're going to find out. Like, I'm throwing some names out today. Linda G has said, and I have said the same thing, we will find out that presidency of 45 was completely illegitimate. I'm just telling the truth as I see it. It was completely illegitimate. It was all Russia. When you saw him at Helsinki throwing the United States security under the bus, that was kind of almost a 9/11 moment for me when that happened. I think it was 2018. That was tough. Let's see. So get ready. I'm going to pull 3 cards about what's coming up. These bombshells that are coming out in the news. What's coming up this week, right around this full moon time. I think we're already seeing it. I see the everything just kind of collapsing. That's not literal. I just mean the last administration and his businesses and everything just collapsing. Many months ago, people were asking me, when he still was in the White House, people were asking me, why is he there? Like, ask your guides, Annette, why is he even there? And I really and truly got a download about that. And the reason he was in the position of president, from a cosmic standpoint, is that America needed a wake-up call. And we know the angels and guides, as far as I'm concerned, have, as horrible as it's been, have been kind of gentle. We haven't really woken up. We're getting closer, but we haven't really woken up. So we will. I have a lot of optimism about it. People will actually get happy about being involved, because it's better to be involved than to be complacent and sitting with the negativity. Okay, so this is about the next few days. The High Priestess keeping secrets, trying to fend off the law, trying to fend it off. I see diversions, you know, like 45 was a master of diversions, still is a master of diversions. And I see Fox News just doing their very darndest to get people to believe that he who shall not be named is still king of the forest, but he isn't. They're gonna have a hard time. Ooh, Melania, the guides are just telling me Melania. No. Really? Speaking of throwing somebody under the bus, I just got that Melania was going to throw her own husband under the bus. I feel like he's going to enrage her big time. He has the onset of dementia, and one of the side effects is to just fly off the handle about things irrationally, which he did anyway, so it's times 10 probably. But I feel like Melania is going to turn on him. That's crazy. To the best of her ability, because he has a lot on her too. So we're going to see something about that coming up. I don't know if it's this week, but I do see that. The Eight of Wands, unfortunately, somebody's going to get away with something. Might be Weisselberg. But it's because they flipped. I don't see this as somebody who had, you know, who was really, really, really dangerous. I see this as somebody flipping, and it feels like Weisselberg, and gets off kind of free. I feel like he gets free, like he doesn't go to prison, but divulging massive amounts of information. Not just him, this Barrett guy too. Woo woo woo! Sparks are getting ready to fly. What do we all say? Get your popcorn. Speaking of that, I said that about Jim Jordan and Liz Cheney, that if they're on that committee, which it remains to be seen, Nancy Pelosi, it looks like is going ahead with it, but we will take a look at that. Having Jim Jordan on the committee is just like siding with the enemy, because they are the enemy. And speaking of that, for entertainment purposes only, there are Republicans that were conspired, that were in on planning the January 6th insurrection. I see, in my psychic mind, I see video. I really do. It feels like the video is from a surveillance camera, like high up. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing video. And I see Jim Jordan and I see Kevin McCarthy. There's a psychic, Lilac Lantern. Is it her? I'm not sure if it's her. I think it's her. She holds up a card that says, "For entertainment purposes only." I might borrow her idea and start doing that. I don't think she would mind. There's 3 other psychics I mentioned today. I mean, I know I don't have as many followers, but you guys can help me with that. Okay, so I wanted to ask, just jumping topics from the political scene to the wildfires on the West Coast. This country, this planet's never seen anything like this. It's really amazing that I'm in Massachusetts and we have like air particulate warnings, and that's from the fires. There are so many fires in the West. I mean, the planet's burning up, and then you couple that with the rainforest, you know, all the rainforest being chopped down, and you know, with if somebody's like not very happy, I can totally understand. But there are reasons to be hopeful. Just pray that everybody wakes up and we get it right. All right, so we're gonna look at the climate change events and the wildfires, and somebody did ask me about that. And we're going to ask if we're going to see them subside. The guides just said no. So let's look for more information about the wildfires in the West and all that destruction. I mean, the animals and the plant life and it's really bad. The devil card means that the cover-ups continue. The Hierophant says that some of the guys in big oil, huge, ginormous corporations, are gonna act. I know it's hard to believe. They're gonna actually have a come to Jesus moment. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them. And they're gonna start to do the right thing. But the Three of Pentacles is like they have to build it from scratch. Alternative energy sources. It looks like from scratch. They'll have to. They'll be forced into it. They're still trying to get all the money. I mean, the greed just boggles my brain. How much money do you need? You know what I mean? How many airplanes do you really need? How many yachts do you need? Bezos. I mean, I know he's not big oil, but I'm just saying. I've been on a soapbox about the billionaires in space. Oh my gosh. But as far as the wildfires go, just back to that topic, it's gonna be like their hands will be tied in terms of continuing to ignore that fossil fuel burning contributes massively to global climate change. The science is out there. I mean, if you don't believe science, you don't believe things like that COVID is actually happening. Oh, the Temperance card is coming. I do see a little rain. I see a little bit of rain falling in the west. Pray for rain, pray for rain. So, yeah, I mean, COVID, it's like saying, oh, nobody died from COVID. I mean, if you're not going to look at that statistics, science is that it's transmitted through the air, you know, right? Science is like if you wear a mask, it protects you. If you're vaccinated, it protects you. That's science. Those are the facts. Global climate change, same thing. Those are the facts. The you know, like I said, it's the age of gaslighting. What you see in front of you is not really there. We're coming to the end of that. And it's going to be because of, you know, for the last administration, and on that front, with the last administration, yeah, all those things that he who shall not be named said were blatant lies, and what's going to be right in our face is all the evidence of how dangerous he was and continues to be, but he doesn't have all that power that he had before. So, you know, the gaslighting was clearly there, the distracting, the chaos building that he did. Global climate change. I mean, what more evidence do we need? I had already said that I see 5 hurricanes hitting Florida. I think we've already had one. It's early in the season, and the season starts earlier too. So my point is, I don't mean to ramble. Very rambly today. Where's the moon today? Today it looks like the moon's in Virgo. Yeah. Very good day for grounding, for doing something really grounding and getting organized and taking care of your garden and that kind of thing. Anyway, so we're seeing, we're moving into a time where we have to stop pretending that what is right in front of our eyes isn't really right in front of our eyes. As I say that, Kellyanne Conway pops into my head, but boy, she was the master of that. I believe she's coming out with a few books. The guides are telling me, because I'm just like thinking of Kellyanne Conway, because she was the master of gaslighting. It started with Sean Spicer, but he just couldn't take it. Then he started Dancing with the Stars. Oh my gosh, you can't make this stuff up. So as far as the gaslighting goes, since I'm on the topic, let's look at Kellyanne Conway, who's coming out with a book. I've always wondered, like you probably have too, about her and how her husband George is so against 45 and was throughout and headed up the Lincoln Project and all that. So I wondered about their marriage, and I kind of feel like, I kind of have the sense that they're staying in it for the children, and that she quit her job because she knew she stood to lose a lot. And her daughter was really giving her some trouble. You know how those teens can do if you have teens. So I'm actually looking at what's going to happen with her in her book. Well, you know, it seems like she has been convinced to spill the beans, all the dirt, and for selfish reasons, in order for people to want to buy the book. That's interesting. And they will, and I actually think her book's going to sell a lot. So it doesn't make her look, it doesn't really shed a positive light on her. It's almost like, you know, when if you're a screenwriter, you got to throw some violence in the movie in order for it to sell. The guides are saying that she's been persuaded to make herself, in some parts of her books, not look like this, you know, bright angel. And she heeded their advice, you know, to an extent, within limits. And then the Temperance card is actually, you know, it's almost like she has kind of a healing, like a cathartic effect from writing these books, because the Temperance card is coming up. So it'll actually, it's almost like a penance. It's interesting. I hadn't thought to look at that, but it's almost like a penance. It's almost like, you know, not that she has like tons of regrets. I don't think she's wired that way, but there's a little bit of wanting to write these books to do the right thing for the country. A little bit. Maybe George had an influence. Her husband, George Conway. So that's Kellyanne and George. And I don't know what her books coming out are, but I know there are a lot that have come out even this past week. Like I Alone Can Fix It. I'm kind of drawn to that one, and I like to take my books in on Audible. I've got a lot of books, but that one I think I'll find on Audible. Okay, I know there's a ton. What else do we have? I just dropped my cards. This full moon in Aquarius. So, you know, just be calm. On a personal level, this can be a challenging one, because if you know anything about astrology, I'm not an astrologer, but I know quite a bit about astrology. I could never read a chart. It's too mathematical for me, but, you know, tarot is my thing. On a personal level, this is a good time to learn how to breathe deeply. I mean, this time that we're in has been a time to really figure out, if you haven't already, how to have a practice in your life that, you know, like tools in your toolbox that will bring you calm. And if anyone's interested and you want to send me your email address, I don't know how you could do that privately, I can send you my newsletter that has a lot of tips about that, the last one that I wrote. Okay, so we're looking at, let's look at what's coming up, what we can expect this week. My cards are flipping all over the place here. There's a lot of energy in the room today. Who's here? It's almost like I just feel like the guides are like, tell them this, tell them that. There's reasons to have hope. There are reasons to believe. And this craziness that we've been in for, gosh, it seems like forever, and waiting for justice and getting, losing faith in our legal system, because he's still running free. The amount of people, I mean, the amount of crimes he's committed, the amount of people that are around him that are still running free, it does really give you a sense of like anguish and despair. I understand that. And I also understand that we never really followed the legal system unless you're a lawyer or something. The general public doesn't really realize how much time it takes to get somebody indicted and in prison. Let's ask if he's going to prison. If 45 is going to prison. I do see him indicted. I definitely see him indicted. And the guides are showing me October. We're going to be seeing, it's just like the first impeachment. we're going to see in October. I feel like that's when it's going to happen. I think that's when the first impeachment, not that this is an impeachment, I'm not saying that, but I think that around October, everything's going to be just obvious. It's going to be all out. Not all of it, but a huge chunk of it. And by October, it's just going to be like common knowledge. Yeah, so the world will see us in a better light. So that bodes well. I did want to ask about the January 6th insurrection, you know, the Kevin McCarthy and who he's chosen, and Jim Jordan, the joke, the clown. He's as bad as Rand Paul. If you didn't see the clip of Rand Paul and Dr. Fauci just basically, you know, I won't be crude, but boy, he was angry. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, you think about why Rand Paul was being so disrespectful. I don't want that to be fashionable. That really bothers me. Anyway, I see that the world is going to see us in a better light, and that does have to do with what's coming up. It's almost like, you know, America grew a backbone. You know, they're waiting. They're like, we've all been kind of mealy-mouthed and not, you know, just letting this stuff go. And I do see protests on the streets regarding voting rights. And I think that other countries seeing that is, I mean, we really need to step up to the plate and be showing the rest of the world America's paying attention, the citizens are paying attention, we're wanting justice. We really do need to show the world that. But I do see that we will, and I think it has to do with 45 being indicted. Because, you know, don't think these other countries didn't have, you know, not all of them, but don't think these other country leaders didn't know what was going on with the UAE. Like I said, it's too much stuff. 10 of Cups, we got the goods. And I think I got this card the other day. We got the goods. In terms of, you know, the legal system, Merrick Garland, we got the goods. Don't get mad at Merrick Garland. He has a lot of responsibility and he's trying to keep his family safe. So let's just pray for him. He's getting it done. Oh, the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. This is about all the news that's about to come out. Tons! The guides are telling me to mention COVID. What do I want to say about it? Well, this is what I want to say about COVID. I know I'm going over the time that I usually go, but today warrants that. So stay with me. As far as COVID goes, consistently the guides have told me it's not going to be over for a long time, and it won't be over, and you've heard me say this if you've been watching me. 2024. Since last year I've been getting that guidance. So I'm not surprised in the least that the Delta variant is coming out. If you are out there, out and about without being vaccinated, without protecting yourself, that's really dumb. If you choose to not be vaccinated, don't be stupid. Follow the guidelines that were pre-vaccination. Don't be stupid, because the Delta variant is really pretty intense. I feel like that one is going to be the most intense one in terms of transmission. That the other variants aren't going to be as easily transmitted. Remember, it's passed on through the air, through the like droplets in the air when you talk. I've mentioned before, I strictly work remotely. Strictly. I don't see anybody. It's true. And I'm okay with that. But just, you know, hopefully it won't be that way forever. But if you do not have a vaccination, if there's a reason you haven't been vaccinated, please adhere to the guidelines. You know, I'm saying that because we got to be safe. Because this one's tricky. I don't think that schools are going to reopen. I'm sorry, I'm just blurting this stuff out today. I don't think they're going to be reopened. I do see a lockdown. The Fool card's coming up. The cards are just coming up by themselves. The Fool card's coming up. Don't be foolish. You know, it's not, vaccines won't be mandated. They'll be heavily suggested, but the government and a democracy, they're not going to mandate that. So you just got to be smart. Okay. There was something else. It had to do with Ron DeSantis and the insurrection. Okay, so the two separate things. But somebody asked if DeSantis was going to be reelected. I think I said the other day that I didn't see him being reelected. Pretty sure I said that. So let's look. He's going to do something really stupid. Not like he hasn't already. He has this much of a conscience. I think when Joe Biden went down there to help with the disaster with the tower collapse, I think that little tiny bit of a conscience came out in Ron DeSantis, and then he probably glossed it over with greed and horribleness. The devil card's coming up. Something's coming out about DeSantis. Entertainment purposes only. Something's coming out about DeSantis. And the Seven of Swords, yeah, he's going to be sorry. And the Star card means we're going to get what's right for the United States of America. We're going to get the right thing happening. Okay. So one more, and that's going to be about this committee to investigate the insurrection. The guides are showing me those cops. The guides are showing... Oh, that's interesting. Pray to Archangel Michael, who's the archangel of police and, you know, firemen and, you know, people that do the... Are heroes. Pray to Archangel Michael. I'm feeling like those police, those Capitol Police, that will be part of the, I don't know, like the witnesses or something, that they're going to have an opportunity to speak out about the insurrection and to the committee, which Jim Jordan is supposedly going to be on. Let's take a look at that. If he was on it, it's funny because I'm not seeing that. I'm almost seeing him quitting. This is funny. If he was on the committee, but he was in the insurrection, I get that really strongly. He was in it. And I'm seeing an image of him in it, but sort of shrouded. I don't know if that's just his dark energy. He's a very dark person. There's so many people in the public light that are just like so dark. I can't even... Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of those. I think about them and I just go, ugh. And Rand Paul, I just go, ugh. Because they're so oozing with horribleness. So, this is about the committee. And McCarthy too. They're afraid they're going to get caught. Didn't I just pull that card about something else? I know I did. They're afraid they're going to get caught. Look, I just talking about them being kind of shrouded. Yeah, there they are, shrouded. See the snake in the background? They've done some really insidious things. This is about the GOPs and that Kevin McCarthy is nominating to be on the committee to investigate January 6th. Here's Pelosi. You know what? I'm not worried about whether Jim Jordan is on the committee. I don't want him to be, but I'm not worried about it because I just feel like it's not good. I'm getting that it will be short-lived. I'm getting it will be short-lived. Okay. All right, so there's a committee and DeSantis, and I think that's probably it for now. These videos take forever to upload, so I'm going to stop now. But once again, I do want to make some announcements. If you would like a reading, it's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. Just say hi. Also, you could send me an email if you'd like to receive my newsletter. I make newsletters and send them out every so often that are very informative. Good tips and stuff. And I am going to be airing, it's in the works now, Tarot at the Castle. So where I live in Massachusetts on the coast, there's a beautiful castle. And there's a big story behind the castle. If you want to Google Hammond Castle Museum, Hammond. You can hear the story of the castle, and I'm so fortunate. I'm going to be doing a class. It's an 8-session class 2 hours each session, learning to read the tarot. So there's that, and we're going to live stream it. If you want more details, email me. I don't want to get into all this on YouTube. And the last thing is, I do have a Church of Spirituality that I live stream 7 o'clock Eastern time on Facebook Live. If you're on Facebook, I know a lot of people have dropped out of Facebook. I do that every week, and it's on my timeline. Annette Dion is the timeline on Facebook. That's all my shameless self-promotion, and thank you so much for tuning in, for your kind comments. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You know the drill. If you don't like this video, then please don't leave a nasty comment. Spread some love. All right, and blessings to all. Namaste. Bye.